Hi, I'm Sam,
And I'm Samri.
and welcome to the Lines Between the Stars podcast. Happy New Year's! Woo!
Yay! So, in this episode, we're gonna talk about year in review
Yep.
2021. So we're going into a new year.
We're going to, what was it? 2019 season 3, or 2020 season 3. That's the joke that I've been saying around as every year, because big troubles started happening around 2020,
Yeah.
and then it just keeps getting worse and there's plot twists abound, and I guess the end of season 2 didn't have as crazy as an ending as season 1 did,
Yeah.
So
It's not
that's
as
good.
interesting,
It's
I
not
guess.
this year, definitely a little bit more boring, but that's after season 1, just think we needed a cool down season,
Yeah. It's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last year, if we go month by month, so January, what happened?
January, I mean, personally or in the world stage?
Both.
Okay. Personally, I think that was when we let's see. Well, let's talk about last year's New Year's resolutions, if we made any.
Oh, okay.
I made New Year's resolutions.
Oh, you did?
Last year.
I didn't.
I decided I was like, okay. Last year, I was like, I'm going to start content creation.
Oh, okay.
And I want to do something at least once a month. And I kind of blew that out of the water.
Yeah, you're doing one.
I do way too much content
every other
creation
day.
now.
Yeah.
I do a lot.
Yeah.
So that was kind of blown out of the water.
Yeah.
And personally, I think because I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't make New Year's resolutions because I never follow through on them, right? But I think it is nice to do a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, yeah.
And just make it small. Just make it very, very small.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, I don't look at it as a resolution. It's more of a goal, or reflecting on the past year and plan for the new year.
Yeah. I think it's a good motivator starter, but like in anything, with any sort of lifestyle change or anything you want to do, it's easy to get motivated to do something, but it's hard to be disciplined enough to keep up with it.
Yeah.
So that is the thing.
The everyday, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So people fall off.
Yeah, a lot of people fall off. But yeah, I encourage anyone listening out here to, if you do make a resolution and try to do it, try to follow through. There is nothing wrong with quitting. There's nothing bad about failing to do it, and at least starting it is better than nothing.
Yeah, and I can put in the description box. There's a Clubhouse reflection by psychotherapist, or she does hypnosis therapy.
Yeah. Hypnosis therapy.
And she's really good with because most of your plans are in your subconscious, and your conscious tends to rationalize it away.
Yeah.
If you have big plans, your rational mind is no, you can't do that.
Yeah. So do something small. Instead of being oh, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds, make it just something small, I'm going to work out once a week. Right?
Yeah.
Or once every, heck, it's not the best, but once every other week maybe.
Yeah, you could even do just stretching.
Yeah. Or, be I want to hike a mountain, to go on a hike every month or something like that. Something that's achievable.
Yeah, go step by step, little steps at a time.
Don't have a big dream for your New Year's resolution, make it a small dream. And then heck, maybe as you go along that you've exceeded you can only exceed your New Year's resolution, right?
Yeah.
Make it something attainable.
Yes, smart goals.
Smart goals. Small
the
goals.
A is attainable.
That is a good fact of like trying to pick anything up really. Like for me, like I remember, and I think the year before that, I think couple years before I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start exercising or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But with that one, I actually started like a couple months before the new year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
So,
didn't wait until
I didn't
January.
wait. I didn't. So I'm not the type to actually wait for a New Year's resolution. So I'm the type to like kind of like, okay, if I want to really achieve something, I usually go and just initiate.
Yeah, that's
right
better.
away.
Yeah, because when you wait for a time, a specific, perfect time, that's like what a perfectionist does. I do that, and that's how I tend to procrastinate. Because I always wait for the perfect time and it never happens.
Yeah, I never expect the perfect time to appear. You can only make the perfect time appear for you.
Yes, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. So January you started content creation?
Yeah, it was mostly like, I started going to taking the steps. I think that's when I like got a microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got the microphone. I didn't know what content creation I was going to do, right? But I was like, oh, I'll just figure something out.
Yeah. Just at least get it,
Yeah.
Like I feel, the secret to manifesting is first comes the thought. Like you let the thought or like the idea surface. Don't let your ego suppress.
Yeah.
Rationalize it away. So like surface the thought, and then you have to write it down. That's an action. Speaking it to others that you trust, people who are not going to like sabotage you or get jealous and be like try to like dissuade you of it. And then so first is the thought, then writing it down, then speaking it out loud. Then the fourth step is actually doing something.
Yeah.
So like even if it sounds out there, it's good to do something, as long as it's not like criminal or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
don't be a criminal.
Yeah,
don't be
just like all everything we say is we're assuming you're a rational human being.
Yeah.
With
and
common
also
sense.
like take your current current goal and try to make it smaller. Like say you're like, oh, I want to get a girlfriend this year or something like that. Because that's been a New Year's resolution that I've had before in the past.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Instead of doing that, instead of having that be your New Year's resolution, just think, I will have it be like, I'm going to go on like one date a month. Right?
Yeah. Create your online profile, take the pictures. Think of the words you're going to write on your profile.
Yeah.
If you want to go in person to different events like Mocha Mami suggests, just think of like, which city do I want to go to?
Yeah.
Like affluent and safe city.
And also like, with stuff like this also takes into account of failing also helps you move your goal, your New Year's resolution forward. Yeah. Like say you go okay, I go on a date once a month. You can have a bad date, but like you still made that resolution, so you have a victory there.
Yeah.
Through failure, you've made a victory.
That's true. Yeah.
Right?
Even if and it's all about the perspective. Don't take things personal.
Yeah.
It's, everyone has their own background and their own psychology. So, like, the reason why someone doesn't show up to a date, or, like, what do you consider a bad date, for instance?
I don't know. Like, I suppose you don't get a second date. This person had a bunch of red flags or something like that. You're like, no, I'm not gonna do this. Not gonna pursue this. Yeah. So, that stuff happens,
Yeah.
And it's not real, you had a bad date, but hey, you got out there, you got that dating experience.
Yeah. Most of all, don't take how others treat you or like circumstances with them as like failings on your part.
And heck, bad dates make for funny stories. Bad dates make for great stories to tell your friends afterwards. You're like,
Yeah.
yo, you wouldn't believe what happened.
Yeah. It is interesting stories.
Yeah. So in our initial, like, say, let's do like per 3 months. For us, at least, that's how it's easier for remember to sum it up that way.
Oh, okay. January, February, March.
January, February, March. We were planning our wedding. We were.
Oh
Planning,
yeah.
We're not even really planning that much. We were actually just going to be like, let's just do it.
Yeah. It was like so last minute.
Yeah, it was really last minute.
It was so stressful for me.
Yeah, you were stressed out, and like I was trying to like also do like my New Year's resolution during that time period too.
Oh, okay.
You know, like it was. I started around that same period. Too.
Yeah, because did I resign? Yeah, I
resigned.
resigned right after March.
Yeah, you resigned right after March because I was like, I think you were in the beginning of the year. You needed to go back to work.
Yeah. They asked us to come back.
You're like, oh, this sucks. You know? You're like, oh, I hate this so much. I'm only doing this for the benefits at this point, and it's like the worst.
Yeah.
And I just remember just being like, and I had actually started a new job. I started a new job, right? I got a new job like a little bit previous year, and I think I got full time.
In November or something?
Yeah, in November or something like that. So I had just gotten, I was setting my benefits at the time too. And then I was just like, babe, why don't you just quit and I can just put you on my benefits.
Yeah.
I was like, my benefits are pretty good too, all things considering. So just.
And then I was like, let's just get the marriage certificate so you can send it to your job. And
granted, like they didn't really need us to be married for us to do it. Yeah, because like,
I thought
we were
they
engaged.
wanted a marriage certificate.
It's easier for them. But I was asking them about them. They're like, "Oh yeah, you could just do it. And then also being married is also considered as like a lifetime event that I can actually go and change.
Oh yeah.
Change. So like, we didn't have to get married. I could also have put it on anyways. Because if I like made like a request like that, it's like, look, we're engaged, we're gonna get married, and then she's gonna be planning on moving it. It's just that I'd do it now rather than later. But yeah, like I was at the time, it was like, oh yeah, like I can subside on a single income.
Yeah, because
I can like support the both of us pretty easily. My roommates just moved out, like my roommates had just moved out. So like,
So did they move out because we were getting married?
No, they're moving out because they wanted to get a place on their own because they also got married. They got engaged too, so they wanted to get a place,
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, and it was nice. I think I did tell them like before, I was like, I do plan on getting married eventually, so like that is the thing. But like you move in, let you like get your personal things in order. And then like you had side hustles going on too, so that was good. You got to focus a lot on like your personal development and doing a lot of like going to interviews because you had time to do interviews without stressing out about work at the same time.
Yes, I was doing like 2 tutoring jobs.
Yeah.
Technically, I still have the other side hustle, tutoring coding, like for coding bootcamp students.
Yeah.
That's also one thing you can do after taking going through a coding bootcamp is you can be a tutor.
Yeah, because
for other students,
people need help. Yeah,
a lot of help. Yeah, and then also take time, especially if you're changing careers into tech, to practice algorithms.
Yeah, so that is a thing of like and hey, if you have a partner, maybe like rely on them too. I do think that at the time you could also gotten some unemployment money out of it, but then I don't think you did though.
I mean, technically, I was still employed. I mean, if we're still talking about January through March.
Yeah.
Are we moving on to April through?
Yeah, I think we can move on to April too.
So after we got married, I moved in. completely.
Yeah,
That was an adjustment.
We have a podcast. We have a podcast describing like our marriage things. That's another thing too. We started a podcast. We started a podcast.
Oh yeah. April. Yeah, we started this podcast.
I think we started a little bit before the wedding. Before the wedding.
That's true.
Yeah, we started a little bit before
how come it was saying... Because, you know, the urine review thingy from Anchor?
Yeah.
It was saying that we started in April.
Well, we started Anchor later. We started posting on YouTube earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. I was like, I was
so we had...
Yeah, we started...
We had... So, yeah, that was a fun part about that. We started our podcast together. We're like, okay, let's try doing this. And hey, we kept at it.
Yeah, and
we're not the most
a process.
Yeah, it's a process. We're not the most consistent with it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's also the thing, too, is we both upped up our, like, general, like, content creation game.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, like, our method. We realized, okay, we're going to use this podcast as our way to, like...
Spend time
together, and like reflect and do a little collab. It's a little collab thing. We're just trying to do it for fun.
Yeah, and we also learned about each other, how we think, how we process things.
Yeah.
Right, because your mind processes things very linearly.
Yeah.
Mine is more like, oh, let's expand into other worlds.
Yeah.
And explore that, and then
do
another path.
Do this, yeah. Because like your content is very much like all over.
Yeah, it is pretty random. Yeah.
Mine's more focused, and even then, like for me, like people say that I'm pretty like random, like
really?
Random and like scattered there.
So people expect you to be more focused.
Yeah, there's like in terms of like success, like people like are like, oh, you have to be super focused, you know.
It is an interesting view because it seems like
it's just how the algorithms tend to work. They prefer
which is really interesting
like,
because
focused content.
Because the whole the algorithm favoring more focused content reflects on the coders.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The coders are men. Men think more in linear way in general.
Yeah.
I'm generalizing, but I feel the people who work on the algorithm determine what gets the most views, right?
Yeah.
So like you get the most views if you're like focused on like just one sector of like one very specific topic.
Yeah.
Versus in general, women tend to be very like expansive thinking. Like we're not very linear. We tend to like be like, oh, how about this and that and then another topic. So if the YouTube algorithm doesn't favor that, it's because it doesn't favor a more feminine way of thinking. I feel that's just like one theory I just came up with.
I think just computer programmers in general tend to be very linear, and focused thinking.
That's true. Yeah.
Because if you are scattered and you're coding, you can't get anything done.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I'm finding now as an intern in software engineering. Is I'm like, shoot, there's all these different things to learn about, but you know, at the same time, my project mentor was telling me you have to juggle different things at one time. Yeah. So you can't just like focus. It might just be because I'm an intern and I have to like learn a ton of different concepts at once. But maybe in the future, in like 2 years, I might like just focus on one thing per day.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much like when you're at the point where everything still requires a lot of conscious effort. At a point, sometimes there's like a point where you stop needing to put conscious effort into a thing, and everything's in like your subconscious, and you're like, oh, you can just you can setting things up without needing to look it up on Google or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like
you're still
half
referring
the time
to
Googling.
Referring to Google. Eventually, you get to the point, and with a lot of repetition, you get to the point where you don't need to Google anymore.
Oh, okay. Because right now, I just take so many I watch so many tutorial videos,
and then just
all over the place.
You can do it without doing. Eventually, your goal should be be able to do it without the tutorial video. Right, just be like, oh, you can do it. You've done this so many times, you don't need to open up that video anymore.
Yeah, and I'm learning about data structures, Java in general, and it's
So another thing too that happened with me is that I started drawing in January and February, and that was so I didn't really get into the year thinking I was going to draw a lot. I was just doing it because like, when you're a content creator, making your own art assets saves you a lot of money versus like commissioning someone else to do it. So I got into that, and I started with my like Surface tablet. I got Clip Studio Paint because that was on sale when I picked it up.
Was half off?
It was half off, yeah. So it's like $30 versus its normal $60.
So is it per year?
No, it's just one-time purchase.
Oh, okay.
You have to do a subscription if you're using it on an Apple device, though. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, okay.
It's weird. But I got into that. Got into drawing, so that was fun.
You improved a lot.
Yeah, I improved a lot. I do commissions now and stuff like that.
And you also switched to Twitch.
Yeah, and also I did YouTube for like half the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
In May you switched.
In May or June I switched. I think July is when it like really like I did the real big switch. I think I was doing dual streaming for a bit, but
yeah.
Yeah. Overall, it was a lot of experience doing art because I just ended up just drawing a lot through the year.
Okay.
Because I found I was like, this is a pretty easy stream to do.
Yeah, and also what I learned from you switching over to Twitch, I was like, so Twitch pays you.
It's easier to get paid on Twitch than it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
But Twitch partner is harder to get than YouTube. What was it?
Like the 1,000 subscribers?
YouTube partner. Yeah. Twitch partner is like a different thing, which you get more money. Which it equates to YouTube's thing. So YouTube pays you more than the Twitch affiliate program does. But because Twitch takes a third of your revenue, while or YouTube takes a third of your revenue, while Twitch takes like half of your revenue. And then also partner Twitch will take a quarter of your revenue instead of a half of it. But it's a lot harder to get Twitch partner than it is to get YouTube partner.
So YouTube partner, you mean like getting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 view?
Yes.
It is pretty tough to get 4,000.
But partner, Twitch partner requires you to get 70 live viewers on average for like a year, which is a lot harder than the YouTube view count. Like hours it is much harder to get 70 average live viewers on a stream on your streams than it is things. And Twitch rates do not count to that live viewer count. So where people like send their audience to you, that doesn't count towards the Twitch partner thing. Oh, no. So it's super hard to get Twitch partner versus YouTube partner. But Twitch affiliate is easier to get compared to YouTube partner.
Okay.
So it's like different tiers. So like the YouTube only has the one tier, but it's like harder. It's hard to get. Yeah. While Twitch affiliate is like easier to get. Yeah. But Twitch partner is even hard. It's like the hardest to get. And also when you get Twitch affiliate, you're blocked off from streaming on YouTube. You're locked in. You're pretty much like locked in.
Oh, okay. That's why you stopped streaming.
That's YouTube. Why I was streaming on. Yeah, I stopped streaming on YouTube because I would have been like, Twitch would be like, "What are you doing? Stop it." You know.
Yeah.
But you get like fun things, and when you do Twitch affiliate, you get like emotes on your streams. You get monetized on ads, and also like you get ads, and people can subscribe to you. So yeah, that's a fun thing. Twitch, when people subscribe, they're paying.
Yeah, they're paying.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like something that's like small, like something small. Like it, I think after like 6 months, I've made like $100. So
I didn't make any bucks
Yeah.
on YouTube, so it is something like.
but like if
I
I
would just
if
say,
I compared
yeah.
it to other side hustles, like it's like not livable.
Yeah, yeah.
It is not livable compared to like other side hustles.
Yeah, I mean, I still
Yeah.
like the whole
Yeah.
Twitch
Get paid.
affiliate
Yeah.
thing
Versus YouTube.
versus
I
YouTube,
wish there
which
was
is like.
So I know people say that Twitch affiliate is hard to get in some cases because there's definitely people who like stream like they like stream like 1,000 hours, and then like they get like average they only get like 1 or 2 viewers and they can't like get because Twitch requires you to have I think it's 50 followers and then 3 average viewers for like a month.
Oh, okay.
And so some people have a hard time with like getting the 3 average viewers,
Okay.
And for me, like I got it easy. I got it like within my first month. I got affiliate within the first month, but like I know for other people that's like really hard. So actually for me getting affiliate means I'm on like the top 20% of Twitch streamers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so people would like stream to the void kind of thing.
A lot of people stream to the void.
Oh no.
So like because Twitch usually points you to really big streamers, right? It's not good at like doing other things. So you have to do a lot of other like things to like get people to join in and watch you, right?
Okay.
And I think like people are like, oh yeah, like 3 average viewers isn't a lot, but it's like like if you're a comedian doing a show, that's like that's a couple crowd, that's like or 5 people or 10 people. 10 people is really successful if you're if you're a comedian doing a live show for 10 people. I think that's really cool and impressive.
Interesting.
Now so it's a good way to be like social in like a space that you're safe in as well, Like the crowd is like faceless.
Except for the bots.
Yeah, there were some issues with bots.
They're taking care of it now.
Yeah, they're taking care of it now. It took them quite a long time though. But I'm a guy, so like I had an easier time. Like I get blessed at having not targeted by the bots as much.
Also, women streamers get targeted.
Women, Black streamers, and LGBTQ streamers all were like kind of like more heavily targeted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I get the blessed thing of not having any of those like other like minority tags and stuff like that. It's like I got lucky in that regard. Still get a couple annoying bots, but like there's a lot of auto mod tools that like deal with that myself. Sometimes like I'll see someone who just gets like obliterated by my auto mod just like instantly before I get to read the message.
Oh, okay.
It's like this message has been deleted, and I was like, oh damn. Okay.
And then let's see what happened with me. Yeah, I got a new position.
You got the
an intern.
Yeah, which required you to do the
coding boot camp for 3.5 months.
Yeah, it was like a new boot camp.
Yeah.
Boot camp 2.0.
Yeah, cause like the second boot camp, it was with Coding Dojo, and it was for 3.5 months.
Yeah, but it was a lot easier compared to your first boot camp, all things considering. I mean, like in terms of like your other parts of your life too.
I didn't have to go to work.
You didn't have to go to work.
It was full time.
I felt like you managed your time much better.
Okay.
Doing the Coding Dojo versus like. Versus doing it part-time with your school with like work.
And traveling,
traveling and stuff like that, you had a much more healthier work-life balance, I believe. You got more sleep.
Yeah.
You ate better,
That's
you ate
true.
better,
Yeah.
Like you weren't worried, you were less stressed. I felt like your stress was more focused on the one thing rather than like three different things
That's
at once.
true.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that like I remember you dealing with your original boot camp. You were much more stressed then, right? Compared to like your the second time around, and I was like, "Oh, you're doing good."
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend for those of you who want to take coding boot camp. First, do like a general part-time boot camp, even though you're not working.
Yeah,
it's a good sacrifice.
Yeah,
I feel.
I think it's hard. It's very hard too with like boot camps because they kind of sell you on the idea of like, oh, you're gonna 100% get a job after this boot camp.
Yeah, well,
that's not the case though.
Yeah.
That is like the unfortunate reality of like the boot camps is that they cram a lot of stuff into you, but like it is very hard for you to get a job even with that.
Yeah, it's as in anything with careers and jobs, it's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah.
So, but still, like, you have to be passionate about it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, you have to love code. Like, that's like another thing too that like I recommend. I tell people you kind of have to love coding in order to be successful, right? Like, you didn't think that you didn't think that, and like your aunt and your brother, you're like, oh, like my aunt and brother did that, but I think those two are actually on like the passionate spectrum of like the coding spectrum, right?
Oh, okay.
They're like the types of like, oh, they like really like deep diving into like this sort of thing,
I mean, they both went to college for it.
I mean, I went to college for it, but I am not on the passionate side of the spectrum. It is hard for me to get
what spectrum are you in?
I just want money, but
for me it's both.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of like loving code, being passionate about just like pure coding and coding concepts, and then pure money making. I'm in the middle. I don't think you need to pick a side.
Yeah, I am on like the pure money making spectrum, more on the money making spectrum, because there's other things I'm more passionate about than coding.
Yeah.
And coding takes a lot of time, so I don't want to like. It's hard for me to split my attention. It's just like I'm already like diving my foot into like a bunch of other hobbies.
Yeah.
That like adding coding like all my free time is hard to do.
It is a sacrifice, definitely.
Yeah, right. I like to work on my free time creatively rather than like, rather than doing like coding and engineering stuff like that. I'd rather do that. And then like I was always told that like, because you're competing with those who are very passionate about this. You're competing against the people who on their free time will make a website and other programs that they can show off in their interviews.
Yeah.
So you can be a coding boot like I've seen like testimonials of people who do coding boot camps and like do their own thing, and then like they're more impressive than the people who go to college and don't do any projects or anything like that. Or there are stories of people who are just completely self-taught.
Yeah.
That's why like actually in the coding world, it's really impressive when you see a self-taught person and they have like a bunch of projects. They're really impressive because you're like, this person taught themselves and like was completely self-motivated.
Yeah, because when you go to a boot camp, you're motivated by like the grades and the tests that you get and the projects.
The harder part though is getting through resume scrub or resume filter softwares, because they're like, okay, looking for X thing, like looking for X things,
What is it called?
I forgot what it's called. It's not AWS. It's like a something.
Yeah, it's like some automated. So basically, what jobs do, they don't have people reading all the like thousands of applications that come in. They have bots do it.
Yeah.
The bots look for specific words in your resume, and I think there's a tool that can help you with like modifying your resume to match the job description.
Yeah.
Because in that way, the HR people are more likely to look at your resume.
It's really funny because I have in the past looked at like it's because those sorts of things are definitely used in tech industries. It's really interesting reading a resume from people who like get their advice for non-tech resumes, where like make your resume kind of flashy looking with like images and stuff like that. But then when I talk to people who are going to tech industry, I'm just delete all that. Get rid of all that. Don't do it. Don't have any fancy formatting because that breaks a lot of scanners. And so your thing will just get auto-dumped.
Yeah, because the bots are not looking for flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
They're looking... And they're not looking for, like, different fancy fonts, you know?
Yeah.
So just, like, make it, you know, traditional New Times Roman size 12.
Size 12.
And, like... Some people do like little tricks like putting words, like putting the whole like job description in like the margins in white. So you like people can't see it, but the bots will read it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So like, and then when the human being looks at it, they don't look at the, you know, what you have in white, but they can read, okay.
You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny? I always highlight like text I read.
Oh, so, online?
Like online or like on documents.
Oh, okay.
It's just an easier way for me. So it's really funny for me because if I'm reading it, I saw white text, I'm like, wait, what's this?
Yeah,
I mean, do that. That's just a me personal thing.
Okay.
I don't think that's like everyone does that.
Yeah,
but it's just kind of like funny. As like I was like thinking like, what if I was like an HR person and like my habits did that and see just the white stuff in the white margins. It's just funny. Yeah,
it's all about first impressions, all that stuff, and I've also found. So this year also I got into Clubhouse.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
That's a thing.
That was a journey.
That's a journey.
Because like, and I've found reflecting on like my time on Clubhouse and also doing more content creation on YouTube and joining panels, you know, Themis and Thought and you know, like other Clubhouse rooms and stuff. You know, because you also joined me one time and that destroyed your impression of Clubhouse, but it has taught me how to speak, public speaking skills. Like, I'm not in front of people in real time physically, but I'm like electronically in front of people.
I mean, it's like me and streaming too. That's the thing where I'm like speaking in front of people. Speaking in front of people.
So it did teach me, or like it was beneficial in that way, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that also like showed in your like, you know, your content too. You're more like spoken through. And also I think podcasting helped out as well.
Definitely.
You're like, speaking through. The only, I don't know, I forgot if Clubhouse ever like put its thing on Android, but then that was also that was another thing that like stopped me from joining Clubhouse. Like, it's on Apple devices. I have an Android phone.
Now you can download it on your Android.
I'm still like not. I mean, now I'm like, when do I have time to go to Clubhouse? And like, why would I do Clubhouse when I have like other things? Like when I have like other things.
Makes sense. Doing. Yeah, there's different niches that form.
Yeah, like for me, like I'm already I just watch Twitch streamers. I just watch Twitch streamers or other people streaming. Like,
and you have lots of projects, so you don't have time.
To like really go up on stage or anything like that. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I joined Clubhouse, my Clubhouse would look a lot different from your Clubhouse. Of course, because of the demographics, the things you're interested in. Because if you're Black, They throw you in all the black.
Yeah, like it's
clubhouses.
Clubhouse algorithm is all about like guilt by association sort of thing. Like if someone follows you who goes into all these like ratchet rooms, then all the ratchet rooms are going to show up in your hallway.
Yeah.
And that kind of like, it still like irks me, you know, because, and then also there's places in your profile you can choose your ethnicity, your gender, and stuff like that. But I wouldn't recommend that Black women do that.
Yeah.
You need to think about your algorithm in a more smarter way.
Yeah.
So like for me, I chose white. My skin tone is white. And then the interests I have are like sci-fi, finance, you know, things that are not ratchet, you know? Like even if you're black, it doesn't mean don't put yourself in the ratchet algorithm because it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
Like, because like I said, it's written to be, you know, collaborative filtering thing. Like I have a video on my other channel, Samri Bliss, where that talks about collaborative filtering, how the algorithms are written in a way that like puts you in an echo chamber and you don't see anything else but ratchet stuff.
That was that was entertaining to at least watch, like the sidelines.
And I was like showing him all the titles and he's like, what?
I was like, damn.
And it turned you off even more.
Yeah, I was like, I'm probably good not going into Clubhouse.
Yeah. I mean, my in-law, your sister-in-law, she has Clubhouse, but she doesn't see those ratchet rooms.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Yeah.
At all.
Because she's not black.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, back to year in review.
After the second half of the year, there's the Delta variant and
Delta variants.
Now the Omicron
variants. I also picked up like a couple other habits too. Through the year, I picked up journaling, journaling, or at least like writing stuff in a planner because like my schedule can be rather tight nowadays. So I ended up getting something.
You don't use electronic calendars?
It's harder for me to remember stuff using electronic calendars.
Okay.
I know that they're useful in certain ways, but for me, just physically sitting down, writing it down like on like a paper is just more helpful for me.
Yeah. And it's part of the whole manifesting thing.
Yeah, so like it's kind of like for me, I knew like for college study habits, I could type out all my notes and have a more legible thing, but there's something about like writing it down that made me like committed to memory better.
Okay.
So like what I would do in college would be I would write things down during the lecture and then just transcribe the notes like afterwards, like on my own. It was part of me studying because I would review, pretty much it's reviewing your own notes and then
your own handwriting?
my own handwriting and then like transcribing it into something more legible so that when I actually study again in the future I have something more readable.
Yeah. I mean, your handwriting is decent, I feel.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's
you should see it when
it's a tiny bit better than my brother's.
Oh.
His is worse.
Okay.
So. Okay. But and you also got me a planner.
Yeah, I got you the
Panda planner.
Yeah, Panda planner is pretty useful. It's nice. It's also like year agnostic. It's also like month because you do it like it has a monthly one and also has a weekly one.
Yeah.
And you can like kind of skip week. Like I've like skipped weeks too. Like sometimes I forget to do it, but like I'll skip weeks and then I don't need to like skip like an actual like page in the paper. I can just continue using the same page. Continue using the same thing.
Yours is pen and paper traditional.
Yeah.
Mine is erasable pen on erasable paper, which is pretty cool because I just need that wiper with like dampen it.
Yeah.
Wipe it up.
Yeah. I got that one for you because you tend to like more eco-friendly stuff.
Oh, yeah. I am
like,
all about sustainability.
So I was like, okay, I think you'd like this one.
Oh, okay. That's why you got. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I always use it for stand-up meetings. So stand up, for those of you not in the tech world, it means in your team, everyone has to like quote unquote stand up and tell what they did yesterday or last week and what they're planning to do today and if they have any blockers.
Yeah. And so, yeah, having the planner, it helps you with your stand-ups, being like, okay, this is what I like did yesterday and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I just take a picture, scan it, send it to my email.
Yeah. And another thing too, planning is very important, even for like if you want to keep track of like what you're doing in your free time.
Oh, okay.
You know,
you
like,
do that?
Yeah, I do that because like I have a lot of like I hang out with I'm pretty social when it comes to like my friends and stuff like that. So like I'll put that stuff in my thing, you know. And like also like the planner Panda Planner has a thing for like your goals as well.
Yeah,
which is really nice.
It has a section on affirmations online.
Yeah. Mine has like a checklist on like things you can make your own checklist and you can check things off.
Okay.
You know? It's really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty well thought out. Like,
yeah,
I feel they go with the psychology of planning and stuff. Like, it's very scientific, I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely more expensive than just getting like a simple notebook thing that you've had. There's definitely simpler planners out there, but like for this planner, I'm like, yeah, it's really good, and it's I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I have a video on Panda Planner as well, and there's a discount code, all caps PandaFam, to get 10% off on Amazon.
Nice. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I know there's like free options out there. This is just the option that like I've personally enjoyed. You know, I've personally enjoyed. Like online stuff tends to be free.
And there's actually a tool on Luxafor, Luxfor, and there's this for the Eisenhower decision matrix, which based on if it's urgent, not urgent, how important it is, there's a do, decide, delegate, and delete sections, 4 different sections, and I feel that's very useful as well if you're into different planning methods. So do you want to talk about your plans for the new year?
Plans for the New Year's? Yeah, okay, I can do that. I think for the new year, like I'm gonna just start with the resolutions again because I think that's a good thing to do. So I have started working on a webcomic. I started like in December, and figure I might as well see. My resolution is to like release a webcomic consistently, and I'll just say like my goal would be at least like 10 chapters this year.
This year, or you mean like so you're
10
planning
pages,
on
10 releasing 10 pages of a webcomic this year.
Eventually you'll do more, right?
Yeah, like remember like I said, remember what I said before. Kind of go low.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay.
Go low, so then you can only exceed them.
Okay.
Right? Make it something you can achieve within the first half year.
Okay.
You know? And then like you don't. And here's the thing: if you're gone to the point where you have a resolution and you've hit it, you don't just stop. You know?
Okay.
If you're legit good about it, you don't stop when you complete your resolution.
Okay.
You know?
Or you can always assess.
Yeah, you can always assess. You can
after
always
like
assess.
3 months or something.
Yeah. So do something that you can finish within like the first half of the year.
Okay.
That's my thing. I always like to aim low, but like shoot high. You know, aim low, shoot high.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Well, that's a sort of thing because you can only exceed your expectations.
Yeah. It's like, good for your morale.
Yeah, it's like expecting a C, being happy with a C, but going for the A.
Okay.
You know, you can only exceed like you can only exceed your goals. So
one criticism about that is wouldn't that be seen as having low expectations?
Yeah, 1%.
Oh, okay.
But like, there's also the stress. Like, it depends on the person, right?
Mm.
Sometimes people are more motivated if they aim for really high. But for me, I'm not that sort of person.
Okay.
I aim low and then I go for, and usually the way I do it is I work as if I was going for like the like really high.
Okay.
Because then I'm just like, I can only look up from here. Like,
Okay.
it's kind of like, you know, like, oh, don't need to. It is like, you know, underachieving, but for me, it's like it hits those marks. You know, it hits those marks, and I'm the type to like end up overachieving anyways.
Yeah. So it's really important to know your psychology, how you work best. Do you work best with a lot of stress or less stress, or you know all that stuff you have to determine.
I don't know, be real. I really don't know. I think like I've definitely been like on a personal high stress. So like I think I tend to like make my own things stressful. You know, I ended up putting my own stress so that like, so I do well in that case, but then like when there's more external stress, then that's when like I don't like having a lot of external stresses.
That's you don't like when people are like, oh, did you do this, or oh, you have to do it perfectly or whatever.
Yeah. I like to do it, and I'm just like, yeah, don't try it. Like if I say if I was working out and my goals are like, oh, I want to reach X bench press, and then someone's saying, oh, how much weight did you lose or gain?
Oh.
They ask me that. I'm like, I don't like that.
Oh.
I'm not doing this for you. Who cares about you?
Oh.
You know, kind of like.
So what do you prefer people say to you then?
Oh, you're doing good.
Oh.
Yeah, good job.
Okay.
Yeah. Just be like, oh, good job.
Okay.
You know, like, you know.
Is that what your coach does? Because you have a trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, oh yeah, good job, like good job. And it's like, oh yeah, or he like mentions like the gains that I've made, you know, the gains I've made. Because he's like, oh dang, like yeah, I go like for example like deadlift, I could only like deadlift like maybe like 70 pounds like when I first started.
Okay.
Now I can deadlift let's see, like 130.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's a lot. That's a big number.
Yeah, it's almost twice.
Yeah, so like so compared to the beginning of the year, I was like, oh damn, yeah, and we just kind of gradually did that. It's like, oh, I didn't even notice that like it got that high. You know?
Yeah, because and another thing you're trying to do is be able to lift me up.
Yeah, I can lift you up. Like I can lift you. Like I can lift you up.
Because I'm 170.
I want to do it easily. I'd be like, no problem, lift.
Yeah.
Like I can lift her up now, and you know, I can lift her up pretty confidently. But I want to be able to do it like I can just like lift you up like no problem.
Okay.
Like, one arm, just be like, yeah, whatever. I want to be able to style. That's like the goal. So I've gone to the point where I can lift you up. Now I want to be able to style while lifting you up.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Interesting. Yeah, so for my goals, so I had started going to Pilates classes.
Yeah.
But they're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cancel it and go to another like more
regular gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
can both sign up and go there, and they have a swimming pool, blah blah, and they have
a smoothie place.
I can feed my addiction.
You gotta limit that to like once a week, though.
That's true.
You can't go after every workout.
Yeah.
You can't get a smoothie every workout, babe. That would be too much.
Yeah, it is really sugary.
Yeah, you just do it like maybe once a week or once every other week. I don't know. But like, it's fine to do like as a treat, you know? Like once a week isn't gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But like, if we work out like twice a week and you did it like every time, just that adds up.
That's true. So that's my goal for this year.
That's a good goal.
Just the whole canceling and switching over. That's and then I also want to work on So like I've found that like my back hurts because whenever I get stressed out,
It goes to your back.
it goes to my back, and I start breathing shallow, and I have to be more mindful about my breathing.
Yeah.
So that's another goal I have, breathing, and also taking care of different tasks I have, writing it down and just doing it instead of putting it off, because that adds to the stress, which adds to the back pain.
Yeah.
So those are the two goals I have.
Yeah.
And for career wise, I also want to do more algorithm practice every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to be like doing like things like I'm going to be healthier. Like this is like a weird like problem to have of like I'm starting to run out of things to be like of like self-improvement. You know?
Oh, okay.
Like I've already like been kind of like doing like have like a lot of healthy habits. Like I cook for myself, I cook for us, and then we don't eat out that often.
Yeah.
We eat pretty healthy when we do eat out. I exercise quite I exercise quite regularly.
Yeah.
So like pretty much like any other goals would be just like improvements on those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing as big as like, starting a new thing,
We could hike more though.
Yeah, we could hike more. Yeah. I think we could do some more hiking.
Yeah. You should schedule that in.
Yeah, I like looked at a thing. I actually put that on my planner. It's like find time to like go on a hike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got a pass.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that'll be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Great.
think that
sounds good.
Our year in review, and then like, future plans. And if you have your own future plans, why don't you just leave that in the comments. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications. All that stuff helps out the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, we'll see you all later.